TAFTA stands for Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. It is a trade and investment treaty under negotiation since 2013 between the United States and all the members of the European Union. It has been described as the biggest trade deal in the world. Officials said it will help business develop new markets and encourage investment. It has been announced that by creating jobs, boosting trade, and increasing GDP, the TAFTA would generate 119 billion euros a year. Many analysts said that TAFTA is not about trade but about trading away democracy, since trade and investment already flourishes between the EU and the United States. They proclaim TAFTA is about changing the laws for big business at the expense of ordinary people. For Mexico, this could lead to diplomatic problems between the parties in case Mexico rejects these policies. The world hasn't heard enough about the TAFTA because the negotiations are being secretly held by policymakers and corporate lobbyists. We propose less secrecy on the deal, since 90% of the advisors consulted by the negotiators represent corporate interests.
The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation is a regional economic forum established in 1989 to leverage the growing interdependence of the Asia-Pacific. This forum has 21 members. APEC ensures that goods, service, investment, and people move easily across borders. APEC has grown to become a dynamic engine of economic growth and one of the most important regional forums in the Asia-Pacific. Its 21 members' economies are home to around 2.8 billion people and represent approximately 59% of world GDP and 49% of world trade in 2015. Participating in this forum, we seek three objectives as a country: to expand and strengthen the country's presence in the world, promote the value of Mexico abroad, and reaffirm our commitment to free trade.
The Trans-Pacific Strategic Economic Partnership Agreement was signed on February 4, 2016. The original members were Mexico, Canada, United States, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, Vietnam, Peru, and Chile. Vietnam and the United States have desisted from ratifying the treaty. The scope refers to the elimination of barriers in public sector purchases, the setting of standards for labor rights, intellectual property, and environmental protection. The implications to the Mexican economy refer to new business opportunities of more than $150,000 million in different sectors, like the automotive, electronic, agro-industrial, chemical, and steel. A real example of benefit is that 40% of the trade between Mexico and the US is already free of tariffs, which is a great support for a possible rupture in the NAFTA. In contrast, this treaty includes provisions and policies that harm most of the population through problems in access to health, food security, and freedom in internet. After the departure of the United States, it would be important to include other countries of the Asia-Pacific area in order to obtain higher profits than those established in the regional agreement.
Free Trade Area of the Americas. There were 34 countries involved in the plans of this agreement. The discussions started in November of 2003, and it was supposed to be signed in 2005, but the agreement was never fully accepted, therefore never was signed. The Free Trade Area of the Americas will have expanded trade by eliminating tariff and other trade fees. It will have improved market access for companies by streamlining customs administration, reducing technical barriers to trade, and improving transparency. For Mexico, there are many economic implications in this treaty. Having a better commercial opening with member countries could have allowed Mexico to create a greater and more constant flow of both import and export, all this coupled with the created opportunity to facilitate direct foreign investment. Since the agreement never got into force, the biggest loss in this case was not being able to take advantage of the opportunity that this treaty offered. However, by being a very ambitious project, it is very complicated to be able to coordinate all the 34 parties involved.
Mexico's future trade policy should focus on current key global challenges, such as migration, financial stability, and democracy. Moreover, Mexican government should incorporate all producing segments of the economy into the policy in order to protect their interests.